You're on, okay.
Remember
Arik
the
Singer.
forehand, the three main principles is when you're coming back with your arm, don't get the arm too high. When it's a bit lower down, we've seen, and keeping your wrist nice and straight and following through, there's three principles as we speak. That's going to help you a lot. So it's back, you can see the height of the racket.
Yes.
Wrist is nice and straight and following through. Okay? Following through. And we've seen as well that you're often coming into the ball. No, we want you to see and try and hit the ball when it's opposite that shoulder that's closest to the net.
Okay.
So if you're a lefty like you are, you're here, you wait for that ball, it's got the power, you want to hit it, there it is, opposite this shoulder. Okay, so one more time, coming back and following right through. This right arm is guiding it over the shoulder so that your opponent or myself will see the butt of the tennis racket, okay? And we've seen that when you've had your wrist nice and straight, it's going right over the net.
Okay.
Do you want
Backhand,
to look at that
backhand, yeah.
Alright, so if you wouldn't mind coming to the other side.
Okay.
Okay. Let me just think about this one. Okay, you on? So a few important things with the backhand, similar principles to the forehand, but firstly, when you get your rackets, your arms back, you notice that your left arm is a lot more straighter than the right arm. It can be a little bit bent, but we noticed that you were hitting it more like a baseball shot. We don't want to bend that left arm too much. So it's there, and again, it's following right through, keeping the wrist nice and straight, and again, hitting that ball when it's about opposite the shoulder that is closest to the net. So for you as a left-hander, that's the left shoulder. I would also add not to get your arms too high, get it down nice and a little bit lower, following right through, and again, and I'll come on this angle now, is to follow right over. I've mentioned before, it's more of a right-handed shot. The left arm is guiding the stroke. There it is. Look how I'm following right through every time, okay? Not coming into the ball like you've been in your forehand.
Right.
Waiting for that ball to come and follow through. Those are the main principles I would focus on.
Okay, and then and the volley shot's a little different.
Yeah, okay, let's come up. Let's start with a backhand volley. Should I pretend that I'm hitting over?
No, you can do. Well, you can do that.
Okay. Okay, we on? So with the volley, it's the exact opposite to the ground strokes that we were just showing. As opposed to following right through, okay, we're stopping. We're chopping at the ball. Chopping at the ball, and the other thing that's the opposite is the angle of the racket. If here we want this type of angle for the backhand topspin or forehand topspin at the back, at the volley, the angle is the opposite. You want an angle so it can go over the net or even deep into the court. Okay? Forehand, there it is. You're stopping right there. Even if it's a bit higher, you stop. We're not following through. We saw you follow through even just a little bit, and that makes a big difference. Right. Stopping there. The ball hits the racket, that's where you stop. Backhand as well. Stop right there. If you have time, the last point I'll say, if you have a bit of time, it's not a fast shot. Left hand volley, right foot comes forward. Okay? And a backhand volley, left comes forward. So it's the opposite. If your backhand's on that side, the opposite leg comes forward. And if it's forehand, the opposite leg is there as well. But the most important thing is not to follow through. You have your arm bent and the angle is that way or that way. Okay, great. And then the last thing with the serve, you said I should hit the ball coming down. Yeah. When you throw that ball up in the air, your ball toss, a few of the times you were hitting the ball on the way up like there, or maybe just as it hit the, what's it called, the highest point. You want to try and hit the ball as it's just starting to descend. Alright? Look at that again. You have a very good action. This would be the only thing I would try and really focus on is that ball toss, and also get the ball toss a little bit higher. Let it come down and then follow through. Okay. I think that'll help you as well. Okay, great. Thank you so much.